Earlier this week, Tim Sweeney, one of the founders of Epic Games, came out to criticize Microsoft. He wrote like a lengthy feature talking about the Microsoft Windows platform. It's this new sort of an API, a software development tool they're using to allow developers to make games for all Windows devices with just one set of code.
Yeah.
Ports it automatically. Tim Sweeney's concern is like, okay, what that's doing, because Microsoft is known for phasing out support for stuff. If Microsoft takes this approach, phases out the old sort of Wild West Win32 application system where people could just make anything for any version of Windows. You could download it from the website and play it. If they get rid of that and it's just this UWP, this United Windows Platform, developers and gamers are going to be sort of taken out of the equation. They're going to have to go through Microsoft for everything. So Ty, I know that you kind of understand a little bit more about this.
Yeah, I don't know if he makes some interesting points, and I understand that coming from his side why he's a little scared right now and why he's concerned. But I don't necessarily know. I think there's always going to be that side load option in Windows 10. I'm almost positive that you can set a security parameter that says I can install anything.
You can do that right now.
Yes.
So, but what happened with Windows 8 is Microsoft eventually made that part of only the Enterprise Edition of Windows.
Okay.
So there is a chance
maybe
they
that's
take
why
it
they're
out.
concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is tough, right? I can see both sides of the argument here. I think Microsoft's smart. I mean, they're at the stage now where I believe, like, if you look at other operating systems, like Mac, they're growing. Their install base is growing. Windows is shrinking, it's not as, it's still the dominant force, right? Especially with gaming, but, and I guess, and enterprise, but for the most part, they are losing numbers and they need to, the PC, if you ask my parents and my grandmother, it's a damn mess and it drives them nuts.
Call her up. Let's do it on live.
We should, right? Put her up now. My 91-year-old grandma hates this stuff. But no, it's interesting because you said it yourself with the Win32 API, it's been very open, yes, but the problem is applications can, they might request access from other applications. It might be digging into your hard drive. At no point I just feel at no point when you change your OS, should things just break.
Right.
And not work. Or when you install a program, it causes another program to break and work. This is why things like Xbox One, PS4, the iPhone, iPads, any closed ecosystem is popular because it's made for 90% of the people 90% of the time, right?
Yeah. But if you look at the sort of control Microsoft is trying to have over everything, that puts
it's alarming.
Well, because developers now can put out any app they want, right? On Windows, you can download it, install it. Through this UWP, Microsoft has to approve of everything, right? And we've seen how that works on the Apple App Store, where certain things get denied for sometimes just cold systematic reasons.
Yeah.
It's sort of putting, at least this is my opinion, it's putting these sort of lock and key on things that have forever just been open. And people have to be smart enough to navigate open waters. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure that think about it this way. This is a whole other platform that people have to consider on PC. We've already got Steam, which everyone loves.
Yes.
Then you've got Uplay. Then you've got Origin. Is Origin still a thing, right?
Origin is still a thing.
Didn't they try to rebrand it? The thing is we don't need a whole other one.
Well, that's the appeal of a PC, right?
Exactly.
Is the open
it,
source.
Is
Yeah, that's why I have it.
Okay, I'm talking to the average person though.
Right.
I think to us, I agree with you guys 100%. I think we want to get there was I think in Sweeney's article there was something he talked about how there's this element of danger and excitement that you feel when you have a PC and it just
don't open that
and something just works, right? And you're just that worked. I can't believe I got that to work, And part of the reason why a lot of the developers are worried is because you look at Rise of the Tomb Raider on Windows 10, that was a mess. That game didn't even let you run full screen. It was a windowed full screen, didn't take full advantage of the video card. There were some other weird SLI problems with that game. But then, you download it on Steam, it works perfectly, right? Yeah. So I get all that. But at the same time, it's how big is the audience like us that uses PCs to game and do all this other weird shit? How big are we compared to the general enterprise type audience, creative audience that just wants a goddamn computer to work? Properly.
Right, but I think it was you that was telling me that your computer wanted to update to Windows 10.
That pissed me off.
And you had left auto update on, to be fair.
Yes.
But the problem is if
it really pissed me off.
If Microsoft does this, right, a game like Gears of War Ultimate Edition, it's
it was
only available on Windows 10 with DirectX 12, which presented a bunch of problems for people.
Yeah, it was
Again, I'm not like defending or supporting the decision. I can understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm coming from. Like I agree. Yeah, it made me really mad when Windows 10 was about to install automatically, and I was like, what the hell? And then by the way, it also downloaded the damn thing to my computer in a hidden drive that I couldn't delete. And then when I did delete it, it reinstalled it again or downloaded it again. So yeah, there's some shady shit going on there, and it made me mad. But the thing is like how often like. They're pushing so aggressively with this, right? They want everyone to adopt Windows 10, and they're going to force you to do it. You know, like I feel like they're kind of taking some cues from Apple, but they're just getting a lot more shit for it. And it's it's interesting.
Is there concern that they'll be taking a cut from?
They are taking a cut.
They are, or like what's that cut?
It's the same 30-70%. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Maybe.
the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
I don't know. Do you know for sure?
I'm almost positive it's 30%.
You swear?
I say this with absolutely no conviction whatsoever, but I think their store they are taking a cut.
Yeah, yeah. It would make sense that they would.
But they are allowing you to download UWP certified applications from other sources.
Right.
Like Phil Spencer said that. Like they are allowing you to do that. So I understand why everyone's kind of freaking out. I just think the jury's still out. I don't think people should just freak out for no apparent reason yet without listening to all the facts and hearing what's going on. Because I would love to make the PC gaming experience better, like just smoother. And I mean, we do all of our work in PC, like with Adobe Creative Cloud and like all these other applications that we use. You know, like I need them to work, and when they don't work and shit just breaks, it is very frustrating.
Well, especially with Adobe, I mean, like that almost presents its own issue because in the past you could just have those apps and not have to worry about connecting to the cloud to like make sure your license was good. Now you have to connect it all the time. I mean, it's a sign of things changing for the worse.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare now when like something updates in Adobe Creative Cloud and then like half your shit doesn't work. So I mean, it would be great to have some sort of uniformity there, but at the same time, I understand why some gamers are antsy. I get it.
Is this a concern? I mean, I know Gears is obviously a Microsoft exclusive. So is that just the main concern? Is that like all exclusive, say Halo down the road wants to make its way to PC, it will have to go through the system, is basically what the idea is.
Well, so the idea is that if Microsoft takes away the ability to sideload apps into UWP or the ability to release downloadable exe files based on the old Win32 method, then everyone will have to go through UWP and all those constraints.
Everyone.
They might not have to sell it through that store.
They won't have to do that, at least not yet.
Okay.
They won't have to do it. Right, no, but that's the concern, right? That's where it's all coming from. And so if they have to do that, sure, they could still sell the game through Steam, but they would have to conform to the tools and the policies that are then inherent in being part of UWP.
And that may not be such a horrible thing if you sell through a third-party store, but then at least you have that UWP certification that says, hey, this app is just going to install. It's not going to go fishing through your shit. It's not going to look for anything else. It's not going to install anything nefarious that's going to screw up something else. It's legit because we cert it. We cert it.
Yeah.
And that part, actually, I like. I might be getting crucified by a bunch of PC gamers.
I'm sure
now.
you are, yeah.
But I mean, I like that part of it. But at the same time, I understand, it's also a giant corporation. They want to make money, and I get all that. So I get the concerns. I just think that the jury's still out.
All right. Well, are you guys worried about the future of Windows gaming? Why do you love gaming on PC in the first place? I know for me, it was always downloading those incredibly... I don't even know where I'm going with this. Never mind. PC gaming, the Wild West might be on its way out. No, I was going to get inappropriate.